Scrappy Doo is found dead in a parking lot, and boop, we are live.
Scrappy Doo found dead in Miami?
That is
That's
funny
where
as
we
hell.
start.
But also, I'm so glad that our 12-12 wish, Gab's internet's back, thank God. Hello, everybody, welcome to the table. We're just sitting around, dicking around for like 2 minutes before we hop in because it is late and we gotta go to bed soon. So we gotta speedrun this shit.
Late night D&D.
I'm gonna stay up all night.
I just had 12
D&D.
pixie sticks.
At night.
Hello.
I'm gonna stay up for Santa.
My mama gave me a Red Bull and 3 pixie sticks, so I'm ready to perform.
You know that kid, the kids that we're describing would have the wildest dreams. Like, they would have full semesters of school, like, in their
They'd have
dreams.
dreams of, like, the ceiling people.
The Hat Man.
The Hat Man, exactly. What was that one? Oh, the Babadook. There we go. I was gonna say garbanzo beans for some reason, but the Babadook.
Hey, I have a outdated reference to date the episode. Do you guys
Let's
remember
go.
the lamp post on Reddit?
Was that the one with the
A guy
spirit
was
of...
in a coma, or he
Oh, I
like,
don't know
had an
this.
accident and he got knocked unconscious, and like in the moments between like waking up in the hospital and like he had like a dream of like he lived his whole life, like he lived 14 years out of his whole life, like he got a wife and kids, he had like this whole existence, and the thing that like tipped him off that he was in a dream was that there was always this one lamp in the living room that didn't look right, didn't really behave the laws of physics, and the day he decided to like finally look at it fully, he woke up in like the hospital
That's
like, a day
crazy.
later.
That's crazy.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it with
It's-
my whole heart.
It's weird because I once had a dream back in college where I had a full semester of school and like I had friends that I loved and adored that were completely fictitious, and then I woke up and I was so fucking confused. It was wild.
I don't like it.
Oh yeah.
It sounds
my
like
God.
Inception.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Assaulted by a football player.
Who?
Sorry, I found the post.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He had some sort of traumatic brain injury or something.
Yeah. It's called
Damn.
getting put in a coma.
It's wild.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. I thought you were talking about that period of time when everyone was talking about like how moths liked lamp.
Yes.
Y'all remember that?
That is old as fuck. But
The
I never
lamp
liked those
memes.
memes. I don't know why.
You did or didn't?
I did not like those memes, no.
They're so wholesome.
I
There's
mean,
nothing really. There's nothing really to it. It was just lamp.
Exactly, yeah. It was completely, it was unfunny and uncreative. It was just lamp.
Oh,
was
I remember this now.
Beauty and simplicity.
Drew likes his well-rounded memes. He
Yeah.
likes memes that
My
have lore.
skippy toilet.
Like the
My
deep fried.
wrestler.
Gritty, cutting-edge, punching down comedy.
Exactly. Well, speaking about edgy Matt Walsh comedy, y'all ready to play some D&D?
Matt Rife.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever.
Oh no, Matt Walsh is the motherfucker who can burn because he hates like every single minority population. But whatever, we're
I
not
don't
gonna
know who
get
that
into
is. Therefore, he does not matter.
Oh, that guy blows ass. Good. Just forget about him. He sucks.
Okay,
Will do.
I already have
We're causing beef with all the people. Matt Rife. Matt
all the
Walsh.
Mats.
If
Get in the comments, Matt.
If your
name's
name is
Matt.
Matt, get in the chat and we'll find a reason to not like
Matt
you.
in our D&D community. No.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt Mercer, get in the chat. We love you
Yeah.
for good reasons. If you're not
Don't
Matt Mercer,
perceive us. Don't look at us.
Matt
Don't even
Matt
know I
Mercer, if you're
exist.
looking at us, look at us harder. And honestly, you know
we
what?
love you.
A word of encouragement would not be frowned upon.
If you're not Matt Mercer, get the fuck out of our chat.
If you're not Matt, no more Mats. Get out
no
of
more
here.
Matts, only Matt Mercer.
We kid. We love all Mats as long as you love everybody else. So we're all good there. But yes, 9:05. Do we all want to play some D&D?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and yes. Okay. Then, without further ado, deep and cleansing breath, and we can hop right in. That sound good?
Yep.
All right, then everybody, please join me. And everything after the breath is canon.
Ah.
No, no. Well, speaking of seasickness, not much of a summary is needed. You guys have successfully escaped the Arbor. And now that you're sailing the high seas, after a session of some much needed rest and role play, some connective conversations, and some allusions or some references to story beats down the line, again with that navy blue ship sailing towards you. It is now roughly halfway the distance to your guys' ship, and will most likely arrive very soon. But before we hop into any of that, we are going to handle a loose end from last session that we were not able to cover. Mud, as we jump over to you, if I remember correctly, you wanted to have a conversation with Rahi, correct? And
Yes.
Douglas Clay. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Which one would you want to cover first?
I think Mud would first like to speak to Douglas Clay, because that is more so, it's less emotionally intense for him, and he's avoiding that conversation for as long as he possibly can.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Absolutely.
I forgot my dice tray. I'm sorry. Keep going. I'll
You
be
are
right
all good.
back.
Well, okay. A quick poll, because we're getting into talking with Doug. Do we want to change that? What the? Oh, it went under.
Oh, I can
They
join the
just-
music now because I have internet.
It
Yes.
just slithered under the table.
Oh, I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. Oh. Do we want to?
Moss incoming.
What a great stream, guys.
Do we want to just slithering away? Do we want to change the music to something a little bit more emotional for the conversation? Or do we want to keep it as the little jauntiness?
Sure, why not?
no problem,
Get me in
then.
the mood. Ooh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let me see. Let me
Get
get,
me
a,
in the
let me
mood.
Set the
Cry.
mood.
Ooh.
get the music right. Let me
Oh,
get-
why
let
is
me-
my thing all the way up?
What the heck?
Oh no. There we go.
Should be good now. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Then, Mud, I will say that you are able to meet Doug Clay on the deck of the Old Guard. Doug Clay, again, I think roughly the same size as you. Again, thinner, scholarly, very much an educated man. You're able to see a spell book by his side, a wizard, a necromancer of life, as described before. And he breaks away from talking to Cade, this roguish pirate acrobat, and sees you approaching and approaches you.
Ooh.
Oh, what the?
Whoa.
I don't know. That.
Oh no!
Oh, okay, well. Also, it's
Gab is Mud now.
Gab is Mud.
I am Mud.
Gab,
Hello.
what do you do as Mud?
I start dancing around the boat. Oh crap.
No! Get out of there!
Okay.
Okay. I don't know, my camera, whatever.
You're all good, okay.
Mud is fully slouched. It's been like a day, right?
It's
like,
been
woke
about a
up.
day, yes.
Okay. Mud has found a little bit like the Little Mermaid. He's found like a scrap of cloth to like throw over him, so because his shirt was destroyed before. And he's just like kind of tied it around his waist. He's like, I don't have the mending spell, so and there was a shitty shirt already. It's fine. But Mud will approach and clear his throat probably 8 times before. So you're like, what does that mean that you're like a necromancer, but like a good necromancer? I don't understand.
Doug looks at you with the familiarity of someone who's received this exact question before. And give me a quick insight check as he responds.
10.
A 10. I'll say a 10 is enough to say that Doug has spent a lot of time thinking about this question as well. You're able to notice that. This is a man that's deep in self-reflection. And the answer that you get, Doug responds to you and goes, well, thank you for asking. In all honesty, I wouldn't say good is a simplistic term. There are good necromancers, there are bad paladins. Oftentimes, people find themselves to the will of their own decisions, regardless of what labels the earth has put on them. At least for myself, I am a necromancer, yes, and my practice revolves around studying magic that would be considered taboo and revolves around death. However, I have focused my studies to focus on the subdivision of necromancy that operates within the domain of life. The way that I understand it, this is my interpretation, is death as a concept is merely the other side of the coin of life. A simple concept. However, they occupy the same space, the same magical properties in the material realm. And therefore I'm able to study it, understand it, and can wield death as a power of life. Does that make sense?
I think if he did like read thoughts on Mud's head right now, it'd be a lot of what he's saying, but then like a dial-up sound as he's desperately trying to be like, sure, yeah. I guess what you do is okay. How? So, like, you know how I work?
I can't say we've spoken at length, so I can't say I understand you at all. But I would like to.
Mud is just like this motherfucker. He's like, Mud does great with Rahi because Rahi is so direct, and Doug is just like,
Yep. Yes, very much so.
And so Mud is like, oh, okay, like, what? I guess you think of it as fixing me?
Doug takes a deep breath and give me a perception check.
9. Oh wait, 12.
12, very almost. You're able to notice kind of like as you look at him, it's very easy to see where he's looking, and you're able to see a long, noticeable glance down towards his burned and scarred hands. And Doug looks back to you and says, "Fixing is a strong term. One that I wouldn't use. I would never attempt to fix you. That would be wrong of me to do so. My offer previously was simply that," and he gestures to your, like as you have that cloth draped over you, the very noticeable, like, concave into your shoulder where you slammed into that box and a chunk of your, like, body got ripped off. He simply gestures that and goes, "If you wished for me to make you whole again, in a physical regard, that I could help with."
Is it like an all or nothing kind of thing? Or can you...
It would be whatever you are comfortable with.
Oh, okay. I think I understand what you're trying to say. Hypothetically, if I'd like this to be fixed. I'd rather have all my arm. This, and he like, it's gonna get a little gross, but like he like almost like grips where the hole is in his chest. This needs to stay.
Doug's eyes respectfully glance down towards your chest, then back up at you, and you're able to see no change in his emotion towards you whatsoever as he goes, I'd be happy to help.
Okay. Can you... you look like you know a lot about magic. Could you tell me what I am now?
I'm going to do two things. I'm going to make an Arcana check for Doug to see if he's done any kind of study into how this happened.
I think you should get advantage.
You know what? This is your PC. Yeah,
He's
I'll give it to
smart.
you.
He's such a smart little boy.
It's an Arcana check for Doug. That is a 17 on the die plus 1,000,000. And then I'm going to make a quick... Okay. Doug looks at you. He is able to pull over a chair from a nearby table and sits you down underneath the central main mast of the old guard, and just begins, if comfortable, gently begins working on your shoulder, magic flowing out of his burned and scarred fingers that begins to very delicately repair the flesh on your arm. Sound good?
Yeah. Does it hurt?
It feels strange because a momentary warmth returns to the section of skin that was lost before fading back into your natural body temperature. So it's an odd feeling, but it is not painful.
I think I forgot what warm felt like. That's weird.
I'm sorry.
You know, a lot of people say that to me. And, like, I think I understand why they're saying it, but also I don't really want people to be sorry.
I was the same way. I understand.
Insight check.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Nope, I rolled a 3. I rolled a 3
Rolled
plus 3 for a 6.
Well, in all honesty, like...
That's a 3. What does that get me?
You know, I will say... I think that, Mud, I think it makes sense where you're just naturally distrusting of a statement saying, I understand. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, no, the fuck you don't.
As Doug just very plainly says, I struggled greatly accepting the help of others with my own situation. Once I started letting people in, it didn't become easier, but the path was clearer.
Huh. That feels counterintuitive. Because if you have a path, and maybe your path was nicer than mine is, I know what my path is. I know where I'm going and what's gonna happen to me. And I feel like if I like people too much, it'll make it worse for everybody.
He looks at you as your shoulder continues to mend, and
thank you.
He says,
by the way, I'm sorry if I sound mean. I'm trying to be really nice right now, and I think I'm fucking it up.
Doug looks at you and goes, I've met more abrasive people than you.
Okay.
And what I will say, in regards to your path, it is rare, but stories like yours, I have heard of several. They're uncommon, but in the depths of my research, I have found similarities. And the path that you speak of, that was common among them.
Can you be more specific?
He looks at you and goes, I'm sorry. I'm so used to talking like this. It's just I'm surrounded by academics every day. No, it's okay. I'm surrounded by academics almost all the time. This is, points to the pirate ship, this is my vacation, and so I'm not used to having to speak like a normal person.
God, academic sounds fucking confusing. Do you all
Many
talk
times
like
it
this?
is. He looks at you and smiles and goes, only the good ones.
Fuck me. Whew.
But what? You asked me to speak plainly, so I will speak plainly. There have been stories of those that have died and come back with the solitary goal of vengeance. However, in some of these cases, their stories did not end once they achieved vengeance.
What do you do after? What can I possibly do after that?
Doug, give me an insight check with advantage.
Here we go, baby. Haven't rolled above a 10 tonight.
It's okay, Ed.
Keeping the trend going. That's 9.
Doug kind of falls
My
back
dice
into...
are as tired as I am.
I will say with a 9, you get the sense that Doug falls back into vagueness. Because he starts speaking about something personal. And while you get the sense of, like, oh, this is something personal, you can't really get the sense as to why or kind of how it relates directly. But you're able to hear him kind of sigh deeply and go, well, afterwards, you have to begin to heal.
That doesn't... Sorry, I'm... Oh, that's like... That's not how... No, The Duke said that if I don't have anything nice to say, I shouldn't say anything at all. So I'm just gonna sit here and let you do the thing to my shoulder.
As Doug continues to heal you, as you start kind of like squirming and you're like, if I'm not supposed to say anything nice, I'm saying anything at all.
That doesn't make any sense, but like, what the fuck? No, like, no.
And you're able to hear... as you are able to look up and you see Rahi flying from the Cat 5 over to the Old Guard as she lands right next to you and Doug and goes, you want to say mean things? You want to say mean things to this guy? And kind of like gets up in Doug's face, like seeing Doug be so close to you, Mud.
What's happening? Wait, why are you angry? Wait, what?
This guy is touching you. Do we want that to be happening right now?
I think it's necessary. He's making sure I have a shoulder again. But he's not gonna do the middle one. I didn't want that one, so...
Rahi looks and goes, I don't know what the middle one is. And then...
Oh, it's this.
Holy... as Rahi has like an initial like shocked reaction.
Oh, did I not tell you? Were you not there? I'm dead. I'm not alive. Oh shit. I'm so sorry. The Duke heard, so I thought, okay, I got killed by, and then he just, you know, it's a very sad Spark Notes with a lot of just like, oh, buddy, left in, but we can.
Rahi looks you dead in the eyes and cracks all of her knuckles and her neck and goes, got it. Don't do that again.
Wait, come back?
No, the dying part. You can come back as many fucking times as you want.
Oh. Ooh, okay. I mean, I don't really control it, but Yeah. Cool.
Well, then I'll pull you back because you're not dying again.
You're doing maturity check. She loves this little guy. Do it.
Well, to see what?
I don't know.
She got an 11. She loves mud 11. I guess. I'm not sure.
Can I do an insight check on her?
Yes.
I'm gonna. Okay.
Does Mud know if Rahi loves him?
I'm gonna flip my
Does he
coin.
know if she loves him 11?
Yes. I flipped my coin and I got a 22. On insight.
You are able to, as Rahi turns over to Doug, and looks at Doug and goes, "What are you, some kind of book guy?" And like kind of like gets up in his face a little bit. You're able to see that, like, Mud, you're able to be like, oh, yes. It's kind of like how, like, especially, you know, for a druid and a barbarian, it's that, like, to equate to the animal kingdom, that maternal aggression of there's someone I don't know touching and talking to someone that I care for and I love. Let's test this. Let's put up those defensive walls. Keep my pack safe. Does that make sense?
Mud, I think, goes very wide-eyed. He's just like, and I think Mud's also clocked Dura here too, and so he's going to because of course he always knows who's the person who can punch him the hardest in any room. And it's usually Rahi, but Dura's gotta run for her money, so he's just gonna quietly just like grab, like, he can't handle like touching her skin, but he's just gonna grab her shirt sleeve and like try and like looking down at her feet, just be like, it's okay, it's okay.
As you do that, you're able to look and see that Doug is looking at, as Rahi, like, again, taller than Doug easily, definitely stronger, gets up in Doug's face, and Doug looks up to Rahi, and you're able to see that Doug's calm demeanor has not shifted at all, almost like he's totally unintimidated. And Rahi, like, breathing heavily, kind of like checking him, Rahi goes, feels you tugging at her sleeve and goes, okay, and points a finger in Doug's face, and you're able to hear, and as you see, you saw Dura, Rahi and Doug start chatting, you grab onto Rahi, and Dura sees Rahi put her finger in Doug's face, and Dura begins, hey, and begins thudding up to Doug and Rahi and you.
I think Doug and Mud just go, God.
Yes, goes, like, Doug exhales, and you're just kind of like, oh, God.
Please don't let them beat the shit out of each other.
Just very quickly, just to kind of resolve this, Dura approaches Rahi. Rahi kind of like goes off of Doug and immediately engages with Dura. And Dura just kind of is like, is this guy bothering you? And
There's so many of us asking, is this guy bothering you right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Is this guy bothering you? Is this guy bothering you?
Rahi then goes, that's what I was asking him about him. You know what? What if I was? What are you gonna do about that?
Rahi.
Please give me an insight check with advantage, as Doug is going to help you on an insight check here.
Yeah, another 19 for a 22.
With a 22, as Doug, like, steps beside you, as this interaction becomes, like, fully between Rahi and Dura for a hot sec, as Rahi goes, like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, what are you gonna do about it? And then Dura then responds with, I think I do whatever the hell I want to. And, to which Rahi then responds with, yeah? Like what? And Dura goes, I don't have the time to explain. And they begin, like, inching towards each other. like, and again, Dura is 6'4", Rahi is like 6 feet, and so, like, Rahi's looking up. Her wings are, like, getting really big now, as Doug's like, what?
We should.
Yes.
I don't know how this happens a lot, and Mud's gonna stand up and just like get in between them and just start gently pushing Rahi away. Just be like, it's okay, I'm fine, it's okay.
Rahi, like, you push Rahi, like, very much allows you to push her back, as she just kind of points over you and goes, anytime, and points towards Dura, and Dura says,
She doesn't mean that. She's trying really hard, but it's hard to communicate sometimes. But she thinks you're cool.
Dura chuckles and goes, well, I hope she was serious. And then Dura then grabs Doug and then begins to walk away. With Doug in tow.
Thank you. You're really smart. Okay. Oh my, yeah.
And Rahi,
speaking-
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this perfectly leads into.
Exactly, yes.
Sorry,
It's almost like
okay.
DMing all the puzzles at all times. As Rahi kind of starts walking with you, just kind of on the deck of the Old Guard, just an associated ship, as Rahi goes like, rumors are that you want to talk to me.
Ah, fuck. Ooh, I've only told her and the Duke. Fuck. I mean, yeah. But it's hard. Talking is hard. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just every time I need to talk to someone, I always feel like I need to figure out exactly what I need to say before I say it. Otherwise, it won't make sense. But and Mud's just fully looking at her feet right now. It's just a little scrungly boy.
Rahi like leans up against like one of the railings of the ship and just goes like, "You're saying everything the way that I wish I could say it. It's the talking is hard, but I wanted to talk to you, and so I'm glad that we're gonna talk."
Oh, okay. I worried that because I feel like I've talked to you too much, and I don't want. I know I'm not like stupid. I know that when I talk to people a lot at any given point, they just get a lot sadder. And so when I was like with Phoebe, before I met all you guys, like I learned pretty quickly just not to talk to anybody because they wouldn't. I think I make people sad. Anyway, what did you want to talk about? What you want to talk about?
Rahi,
You thought it's fine if you're mad. I know you're not actually mad. It's fine.
you say that to Rahi, and immediately whatever she was going to say gets like caught in her throat as she looks at you. And just give me 1 second here. Hold on. With a nat 20, hearing someone say that out loud in such a simple way just causes her to fully grab you by the shoulders and pull you into the deepest hug you've ever had in your life.
Hell yeah, another 19. Okay. Mud will and hug her back.
She like just keeps hugging you for like a minute and just says nothing. And just says, in the tunnels, that was hard because I couldn't beat my way out of it. And you helped keep me going. Thank you.
I mean, I've been in places like that before, and I think I've had people help me, and I think the Arbor is stupid. I think it's stupid because it thinks you're a bad person, and you're not a bad person. You just don't. Talking is hard. And if people think you're a bad person because you don't know how to talk, then they're stupid. And you... I think you don't want to be angry. just like how I don't want to be scared. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Just watching the chat. Yeah, Drew, the armor is stupid.
It's dumb and stupid and dumb.
This thing you spent a year.
It's all right. I know. You guys just wasted a year of your time to placate me. I understand. No, I'm just kidding. I love you all. What's up? Yes.
The lightning in you is different. There are two different kinds, I think. I think there's the lightning that you're meant to have, and then lightning that's not supposed to be in there. It's like hers, you know, when she does magic. I think there's other lightning in you. And I think it's making you angry.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really ever thought about it. I haven't had a lot of time to philosophize while beating the shit out of people for a very long time. That tracks! That would make sense, wouldn't it? Because I keep doing the Duke's stupid little breathing exercises, and I keep talking about my feelings, and nothing helps. So you might be right, and let's try to... Okay. We are very similar because we both just want to live in a bubble where the world is easy and there's like two people to talk to and they say things easily.
That would be really nice.
So let's make a deal then that if you help me with being so angry, I will beat the shit out of anybody that says you're sad.
You're gonna have to beat the shit out of a lot of people. Rahi? I don't know if I'm going to live very long. I know what I was made to do after I was killed. And I am still like 75 to 80% sure that I'm just like that, like it's gonna be so hard that I'm just gonna like die after I kill him. But if like the 5% chance that I don't die, because I think I'm really gonna die, and so this like making friends is really bugging me out right now, because that's just like that's a new emotion besides hunger and cold and anger and fear.
She lets you get to the end of that speech and then just smack. She just smacks you.
Why?
Don't say that.
What part?
That you're gonna die. You're not dying anytime soon.
I mean, I'm literally a walking corpse. I'm like, what else am I supposed to?
You're easy to talk to, and so you're not dying. I don't care. I'm not allowing it. I'm banning you from dying.
That's impossible.
Smack.
Ow! Broken. Oh God, your hands are like bricks. Ah.
I mean, you can keep saying dumb shit. Like, we know what's gonna happen if you do.
Do you do this to everybody?
Yeah, I slapped the Duke a lot.
Ow! How the fuck do you not knock him out? He's like... I mean, I'm like, I know I don't look very strong, but he's like... The man can like... The man is like 100 pounds soaking wet. Like, how do you... And that's semantics. That's just off topic. Ah, Jesus. Oh.
You're gonna be fine, and we're gonna kill everybody on Tangleroot that deserves it, and then you're gonna be fine. Give me an insight check.
Okay.
Well, there it goes.
There it goes.
It's another 19, but it's out of the tray.
We'll allow that. We will definitely allow that. As it seems like Rahi is just and I'm just gonna be honest, Mud, like, in whatever way you'd rationalize this, Rahi is just fully in denial. She's like, that is not even a possibility. As you get the sense of the 19 that Rahi has lost enough people, she's not gonna lose anybody else.
Okay. Before I met you guys, I didn't know that that was an option. I didn't know that I could just, like, not die after. I'll try not to die, but I don't see how it could be any other way.
You like start dodging out of the way as Rahi looks to you, and like she's getting a little bit overwhelmed as she's like,
we should change the subject.
Yeah, well, I have to go tend to the Cat 5, but I'm glad that we were able to chat about this. Now, here's what we're gonna end off on, okay? No, I'm not gonna smack you because you're not gonna say any more dumb shit, okay? I think we've learned what happens when you say dumb shit, alright?
Okay.
You are gonna be fine, and we are going to beat up and kill as many people as we have to get to our bubbles, alright? That's the goal.
I could try to make it, plan B. I could do that.
As Rahi looks to you and is like, just remember, if you think you are going to die, think about the bubble. Am I giving you advice right now?
I mean, yes, I think so. Anyways, before, because I also know that we've been going for a bit, so I want to make sure that
I got you.
I don't want to steal the spotlight. But I do advice call. What is it, like, ask Lori?
Yeah, like whatever. As Rahi's like, I am the Duke to you if you were me.
Whoa. Hang on. Just dial up now. Just dial up sounds in his head. Just
Duke, we gotta talk. As Rahi is like, just yells, not to him, just in general, hoping that he can hear her.
I grew up alongside where I'm from. I grew up alongside a tribe. Were they Leonin?
Yes, they were. Yes.
Okay. I grew up alongside a tribe of Leonins who dealt with lightning. What were they called again? I'm so sorry.
They were called. Give me a quick history check. This will be the last thing that we go into before we cut away.
Yeah. 7.
A 7. You do not remember the name.
It was something like the Storm Pack or something like that. Anyways, we dealt with them a lot because they kept our part of the forest safe, and I want to help you. I want you to be able to decide whether you want to be angry or not. I don't think it's fair that you have to feel angry all the time. And so I want to help you. And from his pocket, he will pull a piece of driftwood that he had it's very he hasn't had time to finish it yet. It's he's penciled in the design of what he wants to do, but it's this very crudely drawn lion cub.
Aww.
And I'm gonna make it so it's good, it's unique to you, but I remember the moms would they'd pin these wooden amulets to their kids to give them for the Storm Lord to look over them, and I remember just watching I watched a cub get really upset, and then his mom like touched the amulet, and it helped him calm down. And maybe it can help you. And so I'm not very good at art, but I'm gonna try to make something for you, because I promise you the arbor is stupid. You're not stupid. You're not bad, and we're gonna make your bubble good.
Resonating with that on such a personal level, she's like, yeah, fuck the arbor, yes, the bubble. As you guys just keep talking back and forth about that,
Fuck the arbor.
Moss, on fuck the arbor,
I
we're
hate
going
that
to
place.
cut away from the conversation between Moss, between Mud and Rahi. Oh, what a good time. Okay, so next on the agenda. There are two potential ways that we can go now. We can either dive into the fleet mechanics, and you can decide where to send your fleet, having a conversation with Otto, Rahi, and the Duke, or we can explore the ship that is coming directly towards your fleet. What is the consensus? What do people want to do?
Did we settle on where we were gonna send everyone, or were we still?
I think we did. I think
Yeah.
Gab, you wanted her to talk to Rahi and the Duke, right?
Duke, yeah,
About
just real
that.
quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it should be a long conversation.
If everybody is if Otto and Dura and Doug and Kate are all sorted, we can just have that big meeting between everybody and just have her talk to Rahi and the Duke there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, excellent. Everybody is called. All the
Does
captains.
anybody have a shirt I could wear?
Let's see. I mean, I have a costume that I've been tearing pieces off of. I'd like to imagine it's like a very silky, like multicolored blouse. It's like it doesn't have sleeves, but it has all sorts of like hangy, flowy bits. And Carrie's like, "Do you want this?"
Sure, why not?
Give it
I
to you.
hold up like a banana peel and I'm like, sometimes when this is on me, like I change into another person. So maybe you could try it out.
Don't. We
Oh no, don't eat it.
No, there's
No.
there's other food on this
Yeah,
ship.
no, you
Don't.
need to eat that.
Okay, he's
But
eating
it
the peel.
was- I mean, I don't want to listen. You guys could starve to death. I just feel a vacuous hole in my body. So does it's we need to save the good berries for everybody.
But that doesn't mean you have to eat the banana peel, Mud.
I mean, it's free food.
There's free food on the ship all around us.
We're running out fast.
We can all swim and go fishing. There's unlimited amount of free food. Sorry.
That sounds amazing.
Were you going to say something, Cowrie?
Oh, I was just gonna say that if you wanted a fish, I could go get one.
Ooh. I'm good. The banana peel's gonna take a while.
All right, let's get
Okay,
back on
yes,
topic,
so,
everybody.
the captains of
Fleet
the
meeting, everyone.
The captains of the galleons all leave their galleons and come onto the deck of the ramshackle, and it becomes packed very quickly, as it is Rahi, the Duke, Otto, Doug, Dura, and Cade, as well as all four of you. Coral comes up as well, with Shisuva still resting, and all of you kind of just stay there as they're just kind of looking around, waiting for instruction from you guys.
Okay, so I think the plan is we, the ramshackle, are going to the grip aisle. Now Otto and them, where were we sending them, or like to send them?
I think we wanted them to scout
Tangleroot, right?
Tangleroot. Yeah.
Or
I'm scrolling through a secret chat.
Yeah, okay, fine. We had a list somewhere.
Yeah,
I think
as you guys are all planning, like Otto and everybody kind of like takes a barrel and like puts a map over it, as like a map of the palm of the fist is like shown to all of you.
we're going here, and I like point to the grip aisle, and I'm like, this is Olive's home. There might be a magical weapon there.
Are we
What's
just
the-
telling everybody about that?
Well, they're our allies. Do we not trust them? I think
I don't know.
Rahi and
I
the
mean, we
Duke were
should-
there.
We should explain to them what it is then.
Who doesn't know about the magical weapons?
Yar. But it's all right. I can infer from context clues.
Okay.
Really?
Insight check.
Well, Olive, let me tell you this. Now, I understand that I can't read, but I know people very well. And I know that the grip aisle is the one place where every single person wants me dead. So I shouldn't go there. That's a strategist right there.
Yes, no, obvious. That's perfect people skills, Captain. But I meant, how few context clues can you infer an entire quest?
Well, there are weapons that are magical, and you need to get them. I've done
All
a
right,
few
but
of those
there's
myself.
one of us on this ship right now. Between all the fleets, there's one of us with a magical weapon. Can you guess who?
It's
But of
more
course
like,
I can. Him! Step forward!
Sounds about right.
Yep, you're correct, Otto. Yeah.
Got it again! Just
Can't get
taps up
anything past
fully.
I look between Cowrie and Olive and I go, so where are we sending Otto and his crew? Or would like them to go?
I think it would be best if they not obviously. You're all very smart and capable. Don't do anything rash. But if you could scout Tangleroot, and we can meet you there eventually.
We'll take out as many scouting ships as we can, aye, but we'll wait to assault the main island until you arrive.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Aye.
I don't know if they've changed their scouting routes, but I can tell you a little bit about how the island works.
Useful!
later.
We'll talk about that later.
Perfect. And then I turn to Rahi and the Duke. I believe you mentioned that there was some crew on the Molar Isles?
Capitan, yes there are. The Duke chimes up and goes, yes, we are in need of finding Fuse. Gardam Fuse Garson. He was a friend of ours that was captured several months before all of this began.
Okay, but he's captured, correct?
Presumably, yes. He was a very intelligent gnome artificer. Probably put to work with it in one of the isles, I would assume. But we are unaware of where he may be.
I look between the two of them and I go, okay, if he's captured, I want you to scout to try and figure out where he is, but I don't want the two of you to go in alone.
Rahi and the
okay?
Duke nod in agreement, and the Duke goes, that is a fantastic plan, Capitan. We can certainly make that work.
So then afterwards, when you figure out where he is, can you meet us at Bular Fortress? And we can discuss our plans going forward?
Do we need Cowrie to like swipe in first so it doesn't shoot people from the sea?
Oh, maybe.
They could just dock far enough from the fortress.
Okay.
Yes, anyone understands the radius around Blur Fortress's waters. We shall dock outside of them and wait for some kind of signal.
Perfect. And then I look between the two of them and I'll go, just please be very careful. Don't get yourselves killed.
We shall be very careful. We shall keep ourselves to Gangplank Crossing and then leave as soon as we have any information.
Okay. And then I'll just give them both big, I'll give them both big hugs just to
Just a big, it's you and the Duke and then Rahi over the both of you. And Cowrie, something to say?
Yes, for Rahi and the Duke. If you guys are scouting the Molar Isle, I don't know how close you plan to get. I mean, don't go in, obviously, and be very, very safe. But I sent a message to my captain yesterday, and he told me that Landon from my crew, last he knew, he was in the Molar Isle, and so I'm going to use one of my new cantrips, Minor Illusion, to make a little image of Landon, red hair, rat stash, thin features, and just if you happen to see him, or if anyone mentions him, Landon Lindsay is his name. He's there, supposedly.
Immediately, Rahi looks at you, looks at a little image of Landon, and Rahi looks at you and goes, "If we find him, we'll let you know, and we're getting him out too."
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Rahi gives you a nod. As the Duke and Rahi all embrace her and kind of break off, and they all kind of look to each other.
I'm gonna miss you, friends. And I start sobbing as they like walk onto the boat.
They hop on to the. They hop back onto their galleons. And actually, so is that the whole conversation? Is that the whole planning structure done?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Fuck yes. Well done, guys.
Oh, very proud of you guys.
Plan.
As Rahi, the Duke, and then the squad from the Old Guard begin to climb up onto the Old Guard to get back to their own vessels, Rahi immediately looks out to the east and goes, "Schooner coming in!" And you guys remember that navy blue boat that was sailing towards you.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
as you guys are able to hear, it sounds like a massive wave and whirlpools are forming as seawater begins to spray up onto your vessel as this navy blue ship shoots past, like out of your line of sight and like behind the Old Guard and then disappears. And then you are able to hear the sounds of like sails being tied off and rigging being like pulled around, as it sounds like this ship is beginning the process of trying to dock, as you're able to watch as this navy blue ship swings around your entire fleet. And because again, the ramshackle's on the most outside section, if that makes any sense. And you're able to watch this, again, navy blue schooner, or schooner, come up on the other side of the ramshackle and begins to, like, dock itself onto you, like, throwing over ropes to, like, remain connected. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. And Otto told us that it's friendly, right?
Yes, you guys don't get the sense that you're being boarded right now.
Okay.
No gunfire, nothing like that. And can I get perception check from everybody?
Perception.
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 17.
Mine fell out of the box.
30-20.
Woo.
30-20.
16.
I also got a 16.
16. And then all, what'd you get?
17.
17. You're all able to see that the people that are manning this ship, there are 7 in total, and you're able to see that they're all in full plate armor. You see, it's all a sparkling, like essentially a completely clean platinum with like pearl accents. They all have face plates down, so you're unable to see like the race or the sex of anybody on board, and the face plates don't have any slits in them. It's just a solid, like, it's basically just a solid piece of pressed steel or pressed metal, and you're wondering how the people that are inside the suits can even see outside. As they begin to dock alongside the ramshackle, and as they are throwing ropes over and begin to put a plank down, you're able to watch as 2 of them look over and wordlessly hop up onto the plank and begin to board your ship. And that's where we're going to take a quick break. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yar.
Okay.
Ooh.
Are we all...
Yar.
Moss, great roleplay. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So good.
That was the
Yeah.
wham bam
I
thank you
hope I
man
did
of
take-
emotional
Yeah.
moments.
I really I didn't want to take too long.
We were watching our show.
Watching our shows. Emotional whiplash.
That was so much fun.
Hell yeah. Okay.
And it makes sense for Mud to be like, I understand that this is not how you actually want to talk to people.
Yes.
It's hard.
Rahi and Mud have such a similar, like, it's almost crazy how completely, like, Rahi not even being any kind of inspiration for Mud, they just happen, just so similar of personality. I fucking love it.
It's so good.
But yes, very quick break. We got 1 more hour to go, then we're gonna cut it. So let's take a very quick break, and then we'll come back to it. Sound good?
Yeah, yeah.
Yay.
All right, then we'll be right back, everybody. Peace out.
Woo.
Yar.
And
Yar.
we are back. Okay, excellent.
Yar har.
R.
R R R.
Okay, R. Well, speaking about pirates, so 2 armored figures begin to board your ship, And I can give a little bit more of a description about what exactly they look like. They're like chromed armor has almost like a shine of blue to it, giving the sense as if it is of the sea. And these sets of these people in armor begin walking onto the ship, and they're uninvited. They did not request to come aboard. With Rahi, the Duke, Otto, and the crew basically like standing there and looking down and seeing this happen. And Rahi and the Duke look to each other, and Otto and the crew, and Otto and the Old Guard crew just seems kind of like say la vie about it, not really wanting to intervene. As you're able to watch as a taller person in armor and then a shorter person in armor. These are the two figures that have boarded your ship. They walk up and they stand in front of all of you. What do you guys do?
Can I do a quick like Arcana or Insight check on the armor?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Can I do an insight or history?
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay. Olive, I want you to do that with advantage.
I was gonna say insight or history to see if I would know who these people might be.
Mud just
or would I
quietly
know?
raises his fists in confusion.
Mud, you raise your fist. The taller suit of armor just goes and just kind of like says like put your fist down basically. They do have weapons. They're currently sheathed. The taller one has a trident on her back, and the shorter one just has a simple scabbard to her side. Gab, you got a nat 20. Again, it's static. It's energy. And certain people give off certain energies. And tapping into the mystical forces of this world, you are able to feel a resonance. To you, it feels electrical, but in reality, it might not be, just the way that you perceive it. And you're able to feel a resonance, strong resonance, between Olive and these figures. As Olive, you wanted to make a check, correct?
Yeah, insight or history to see if I can infer who these people are.
Go ahead and give me an... Actually, I'll say you give me an insight check, or you can give me an Arcana check. I'll say they would have the same result.
Oh, okay, yeah. With advantage, or
Yes, with advantage.
that's a nat 20 and a natural 1.
Wow.
Let's go. Oh,
Let's go.
So
Can't wait for us all to roll like shit for our next combat.
that's so true.
for a total of 24.
For a total of 24, Olive, before they even exit the armor, a taller figure and a shorter figure, and you're able to feel an immediate connection to them on a base magical level. And you, just kind of going back into your mind very quickly, going back into history, two figures, one of authority and one being under them. When is the last time that you were able to meet people, real people, that shared the same magic that you do? I think you remember their names.
Mm-hmm. I look to both of them and say, hello again? And I look to the smaller one. Jordan, right?
As you say that,
They stab me in the chest.
Olive, you're dead. There are no saves. Immediately puts the faceplate up, and you're able to see the young, like 19-20-year-old face of Jordan, the girl that Olive summoned back in Emmons Tower during 15 Stories All at Once. And she immediately goes, Olive, oh, it's so good to see you again. As the woman right next to her goes, puts up her faceplate as well and goes, "Hi, Olive. Glad to see you made it out safely." As you were able to see Quara, Jordan's mother, standing next to her. You're able to watch as their suits of armor directly down the middle begin to... And the metal basically becomes like ripples of water as it... and pops open, and the armor remains standing as both Quara and Jordan walk out of the armor, as the armor and reconnects as the suits of armor and just fully walk back onto the ship with nobody inside of them. As Quara rushes forward and not even, like, asking for permission, just grabs you in a big hug, Olive. Happy to see you again.
I didn't. Hello, it's good to see you too. Pat.
Pat.
So many hugs lately.
Lets you go and goes, I'm really sorry if that makes you uncomfortable. Not the
No,
intention.
I just didn't know we were at that level.
We
what are we?
helped you jump off of a building. I thought
That's true. That's true. I give her a real hug.
a real hug as she just kind of says, "Oh, so it's just so nice to find someone that has the same kind of magic. You know, it just feels nice."
Yeah, it is.
And as she lets go of you, you guys are able to look back and hear as Otto just fully jumps like a 15 feet down and slams into the deck of the ramshackle, breaks a couple boards, and goes, I'm fine, nobody worry. I landed on the axe. As Otto walks forward, fully pushes past all of you, grabs onto, goes, Quara, Jordan, fully grabs onto Quara, the older one, the 45-year-old water genasi, and in a big dip plants a kiss directly on her mouth, as she embraces Otto.
Kind of like look like they're not her parents, but like looks away in the way that kids do when their parents are intimate, just to like give them that privacy.
Her kind of looks around and is like, am I missing something? Are
you
they-
make eye contact with Mud, who's just like...
Right. Her. You were with the Duke when we met these people. This is Quara. This is Jordan. I summoned them with my magic before we killed Emin. Or when we killed Emin.
Oh, that's when I was
Bud-
eating the churros. Okay, nice to meet you two.
You guys knocked down that tower?
Oh.
Yes. Well, no. Netlock's knocked down the tower.
I jumped like 70 feet from that tower. I thought he died. I died.
No.
Wow.
Well, Emin died, but Netlock's knocked the tower technically.
Technically.
Yes.
We were just on top of it.
Yes.
You guys are crazy.
Mud, as you say that, Otto lets go of Quara, immediately picks Jordan up in a big hug and kind of like spins around. As Jordan hugs Otto back, as Doug, Dura, and Cade all begin to descend down into the ramshackle as well, and Quara and Jordan begin to embrace the rest of the crew of the Old Guard. As Quara and Jordan look over to you, Olive, and the rest of the crew of the ramshackle, and go, Quara kind of takes control and goes, but with pleasantries out of the way, we do have important things to speak of if you have the time now.
We are in the middle of the ocean. I have all the time in the world.
Aye.
Plus, you've docked to our ships, so...
That is true. That is true. I will also say that I am kind of, as said before, as Doug was instructed to say, very happy that you, as Quara is speaking, and goes, very happy that you were able to meet my husband Otto before we were able to reconvene. As Quara and Otto seem to be married.
Does he have a ring on his finger?
Yeah, I was gonna say...
Perception check.
Go ahead and do a perception
Perception
check.
check.
Yeah.
Perception check.
Perception check.
Natural 20.
12.
We are so gonna roll bad next battle. Dang it.
We're so fucked.
It's always this die. My Bardy die. Bardy
Cowrie,
die.
as you look
It's
over,
so pretty.
you start like looking at like Otto's fingers. Otto does not have a ring on. No.
Can I do a perception check for tattoos?
Yes, you can actually.
Is he wearing the ring around his neck like a necklace?
Can I also roll for
Sorry,
tattoos?
the neck.
Yes,
You got
you
a
can.
toe ring?
I got a 15.
13 perception for
15, 13.
tattoos.
15.
I'm not even gonna try.
No problem. Olive, Cowrie, and her, you guys are able to notice that, again, Otto shirtless underneath his, like flowing, billowing leather jacket. You're able to see on his left pectoral, almost like punctured and almost destroyed by like scar tissue, you're able to see the remnants of a flowing wave tattoo. That looks in the same like ritualistic way as to what you saw within the the fear images and what you have on your arm and all that kind of stuff. It looks like that kind of magical nature that's kind of withered over a lifetime of battle and skirmishes. Make sense?
But I can't tell if it's between this marriage or Phoebe and Otto's marriage.
Huh? What?
Is it because Otto was married to Phoebe, right?
Yes.
So is this tattoo between him and the new wife or him and his ex-wife?
You would have to imagine this is between him and... Give me another perception check.
Precisely the tattoo he would get to honor Phoebe Goldtooth Squall. Water.
Water, exactly.
Mud rolled high enough on charisma,
a
so he's not going to
tasty
be like,
10.
oh, the new wife out loud. He's not going to say that.
Jeez Louise. She's married?
That's a 10.
Oh, I guess you do have an ex-wife.
That's a 10. You are unable to see any other indicating tattoo on his body.
Interesting.
But if anybody else wants to roll for that, I can go into that.
Can I do? Because I really don't want to ask him, but can I somehow do an insight check to see if I know if he cheated on Phoebe?
Go ahead and give me an insight check, as Otto's gonna make an insight check on you as well.
Watching him discerningly.
That's a nice 12.
That's a nice 12.
Should I flip my coin?
Otto,
I mean,
Yeah, I'll flip my coin. Oh, that was a nat one. Nope,
And now
12.
I just love that. That's a 3. What does that get
What does
that
me?
get me?
Otto got an 11. That with a plus 8 goes to a 19. As Otto, again, plus 8s and minus 8s across the board. As Otto looks at me, Otto looks at you and goes, "You're making some kind of insight check against me, aren't ya?"
Well, I thought it was rude to ask if you cheated on Phoebe Goldtooth Squall, so...
Otto immediately gets like super close to you and goes,
I would rather die from an injury that would leave my guts splattered across the deck of a ship than betray the honor of one of my partners.
I put a hand on his shoulder and go, "Arg, I understand."
give me a perception check with advantage, and then we're gonna move on. Then we're gonna get to the important stuff.
it's
Just
important.
like-
This is important.
But it's just
Oh,
like,
and that
wait,
20.
so it's
Nat 20, excellent. On Otto's...
We need a nat 20 counter in the corner. I think we're up to 4 or 5 at this point.
Oh, work on it, my lord.
On Otto's opposite chest, you're able to see that most of his pectoral has been severely burned, like 3rd degree, and the scars are still there.
Is that pre or post?
You get the...
It would
How
just freak me in
long?
the
How long have
bedroom.
these scars been there?
Would you like me to tell you the story of the scars?
We have, I thought,
We
can
don't
you
have time
can
to
you make
talk
it
about
real
your
quick
divorce.
within one sentence? Just one sentence. 10 words max.
That's too much. It's too many rules.
Can you count
Just
them?
one sentence.
Otto
just one
holds up
sentence.
his fingers and is like,
Doug, I can do this. During the divorce, the marking was burned off by her.
Ah!
I did it! Yes!
Alright, now back to the
Doug
important
is
stuff.
giving
Okay.
like the
Okay.
most polite golf clap ever.
Quara and Jordan look over to Olive and go, Olive, okay, serious things now. I'm gonna change the music. Hold on.
Of course.
Sorry, that was so much.
Congratulations to you.
Good job, Gab.
It's very important.
I needed to know if he was a big old cheater or not.
And he's not.
And he's not.
He
We
is
love
not.
that.
Otto
good
is
ones.
loyal to a
No.
fault.
Maybe Phoebe's the one that cheated. We'll figure it
Or-
out eventually.
Quara and Jordan look over to everybody here, including the Duke, and looks over to the Duke and Rahi and goes, "Can we trust everyone aboard these vessels, Olive?"
Of course.
All right. The Duke and Rahi can join in this conversation. But largely this, and also any of you can ask questions. This is mainly going to be centered around Olive and the history of the Chainbreakers and like kind of what's going on here as to why they're here. But if anybody wants to ask questions, you definitely can. Make sense? Free engagement is a conversation among all of you. Got it?
Yar.
Awesome.
Arg.
Olive. This is Quora talking.
Mhm.
Do you remember that evening? We saw you on the beach, among all the other people.
I look at the other members of their crew.
Everybody here is
Yeah.
able to look over to the other 5 again, two suits of armor that are hollow. You guys know that, but 5 other suits of armor that you guys did not see enter the ship and enter onto the ramshackle. And you have to imagine those suits are full as well. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Mud.
He's just waving to the other suits. He's just like, hi.
You see the ones that you know are empty do not respond to you, but the ones that are full seemingly act in a human way and go, "Oi," and kind of wave to you.
Yes, I remember, and they were there as well.
Aye. And Jordan speaks up and goes, "Olive, we haven't returned to the beach since we saw you."
The beach?
I'm not sure how you experienced it, but we dream of that place when we sleep, when we have to.
Okay.
And we haven't been back there in years. It's changed and we're not sure why.
Where do your dreams go?
We imagine it's deep in the sea. It's so dark, we can feel the water around us, it's cold. But there's nothing around us. But beneath us, there's something glimmering.
Have I dreamed of this place?
No, you have not.
Would I know what they're describing?
I'm gonna say no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
But we imagine it's deep in the ocean.
All right.
Now, and kind of looks to the rest of Morchi as well and goes like, Olive, we understand you to be important. We think you've received the gift. I know Quara mentioned it to you. Oh, sorry, I'm getting the names mixed up. I know that Jordan mentioned it to you within Emin's Tower. But we'd like to offer a full explanation, if you'd want it.
Yes. Please.
Quara looks around and goes, "It's a pleasure to see all of you again, by the way. Just kind of introduces herself again, and you're able to see, again, 19, 20 years old, black hair, the tiniest, like, beginning braid that looks like the one that Dura has, and you're able to see, very similar face, like Water Genasi face, similar to Quara. Quara's her mom. Quara, 45 years old, 5'9", big mom energy, as introductions go back and forth. Before Quara and...
Quara is a MILF.
Quara do be milfin, though.
Jot that down.
Write that down.
As
Milf check.
Quara looks over to Olive and goes, "You must understand at this point that Umberly is a factor in all of this.
Yes.
The god of the deep sea, or, as some understand it, the god of death by the sea. We can remember a time where certain people were able to wield the powers of Umberly. But oftentimes they're limited in the magic they can use. Spells controlling waves and currents and things of the sort. But in ancient history on the Grip Isle, there was an old prophecy
carved into the carpal tunnels. As Quara looks to you and goes, I imagine you haven't seen the carpal tunnels, have you?
I have not.
Quara looks at you and just goes, I'm sorry for that they've denied you. And for the rest of Mortar, you get the sense that Quara, Jordan, and Olive are all talking about a culture totally unique from all of you that has not been discussed. You guys have seen like hints of this with Olive's parents, but largely this is information, like they understand this on a much deeper level. That kind of makes sense?
Yes.
Just the dial-up sound again in Doug's head. I mean, Mutt's head. Jesus.
Ooh.
Quara looks to you, and at this point, like, chairs are being pulled up, people are sitting down because this is some pretty heavy stuff. As Quara says, we remembered the prophecy, and we've studied it for so long. It went as follows. One shall walk that is one with the current. Veins of salt, skin of sand. They shall bridge the foam on the shores and the waves that have returned. Thank you, Mud. I'm glad you're paying attention. We've been thinking about it. Now, I want everybody here after hearing that prophecy to give me a quick insight or religion check.
$15.
21.
Damn, I accidentally rolled with advantage for some reason. Let me re-roll again and take that number. Okay, cool. 13.
I got a 13.
13. Olive, what'd you get?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second here to...
Yeah, I don't know how I would know any of this, but there you go.
Well,
She's so smart.
21.
Her, I feel like with a 21... what was it again?
Insight.
Insight check. This prophecy, you're able to kind of tell this, the way that Quara is reciting this. This not only relates to Olive, but it relates to Quara and Jordan personally. You get the sense of like a mother's caution when dealing with something that can affect the life of their child. Make sense? And Olive.
Can you read the prophecy one more time, too?
Not a problem. I also sent it to the world background. One
just
shall walk that is one with the current. Veins of salt, skin of sand. They shall bridge the foam on the shores and the waves that have returned. Olive, was it insight or religion?
Insight.
Insight. Jordan kind of backs up a bit. You're able to notice that this like usually chipper figure becomes very solemn and very quiet. And you get the sense that discussing this, although Quara and Jordan just said it's common, they've been trying to decipher this for a while, it's been hard for them. And this still is taking an emotional toll on Jordan, the youngest of them all. Olive, to be frank, we're cursed. We don't need to get into the details now, but the chain breakers aren't what they seem. Quara and Jordan and myself and Jordan, we've been suffering for a long time. And we're hoping to break that curse. We have a theory that something happened on the Grip Isle. Something that caused our dreams to shift. And we think, after you appeared, you might be the key to helping us figure out what's going on.
What do you mean?
You appeared on the beach
And then after that dream, we haven't returned. It's the first thing in our lives that have shifted in a very long time.
How long?
They think for a moment as to how to respond to that question, and not wanting to give too much away at once, they say a few years. 3 at the most. And Olive, you know that that's...
Insight check.
Yes. I'm so sorry. Olive, how long has it been since you've had that dream?
Hi. 2 years.
2 years? Okay, sorry. 2 years then. I apologize. 2 years and change. There. Yeah, fine. We're pirates. We don't have calendars.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just... Okay.
Do you have any... yes, also Mud, insight check. For why?
Sorry, no, I thought they I thought they were talking about how long they've been this way.
It seems like that. I'll give this to y'all for free.
Yeah.
They deliberately avoided that section of the question.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of anything, we've been looking for you for a long time. Anything that could... Any information at all? Do you have any knowledge of anything else of what happened on the shore? On that beach?
Well... Before I saw you and your crew, I was injected with something from someone named Dr. Mist Rinse, I believe, right? That was her name?
Yep, Mr. Rinse.
And I had that dream. Well, I don't know if it was a dream since you're real. Saw you, and then I woke up at home, and then we met this man named Tior Fedorov, who explained that these injections are meant to suss out who is meant to wield certain magical, godly weapons. And it seems that I am, since I'm not dead.
Is it possible to do an insight check on Olive to see if she's withholding any information?
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Go for it.
What a good
I want to know if
question.
you're truthful or not.
Go ahead.
Truthful.
That's a 3. What does that get me? It's so funny.
Yeah, mine's a nice little 11, so
On a
nothing.
We believe her so much.
Well,
I would nothing else.
I would.
Much like you're a chosen one. Okay, got it.
I would say, like, yeah, she's not lying. It's just that this information is very hard for her to put into words and then say out loud. So it may come across that she's being untruthful, but she's not.
Okay. They look at you as this is the first time they're hearing of it, and they say, a godly weapon.
That's why we're sailing to the Grip Isle, because there may be something in there.
Quara and Jordan look to each other and then back at the ship and then back to you, and they just say, we're not exactly welcomed, but if we may sail with you, we would love to hear what you learn.
Of course. If you sail with us, then I won't let them give you any trouble.
Jordan looks to you and goes, Olive, we can't go onto the land. They'd kill us the moment we got off of the ship. We can stay within the waves and we can hide ourselves.
Are you guys the waves in the prophecy?
Religion checks all around.
Oh, it was almost a natural 20, but it's not. Damn it.
And
16.
16?
Nice.
Why is religion intelligence? That's stupid.
Cowrie,
9.
this is what you're good at. It's all about metaphors and images.
Yeah.
And here's what you're able to put together. You remember the prophecy, the foam on the shores and the waves that have returned, and Mud's question of like, are you the waves? And you get the sense that there's something, talking about being cursed, there's something off here. And Cowrie, in your mind, it's a dichotomy between the foam on the shores and the waves that have returned. And you get the sense that whatever the chain breakers are, they're the wet, mushy sand in between. So imagine a beach, and imagine a wave crashes on a beach, and there's the foam left by the wave, and the wave returns to the ocean. But where the wave touches, and as it drags itself back, it leaves that mushy, kind of wet, muddy sand, right?
Yes.
You get the sense the chainbreakers exist in a medium.
Okay.
Would we able to like put together if the chain breakers and Otto not being on the grip pile are related?
You would get the sense immediately that given Otto is married to Quora, he has, because you guys remember the Triple S Tavern, like him being banned. He effectively has anybody that associates with the Chainbreakers is not allowed on the grip aisle, essentially.
Okay.
Publicly so.
What? Am I not allowed to ask why? Is that a bad question?
Quora and Jordan look over to you. Quora kind of pushes Jordan behind her as the details seemingly like being difficult for her, not wanting her to get emotional, and kind of like pushes her away. As Quora goes, I won't go into too much of it now, but we were blamed for a culture that is now dead. A culture that was assigned responsibility for a great many casualties.
I think I know what you're talking about. Not the extent of it, but I always found something off with how my parents told it.
Quora looks to you, Olive, and goes, living through such a thing. I could imagine that's a wound that's difficult to heal.
But you... If I'm off base, please tell me, but you endured it as well.
In a sense, yes.
So you have a right to hurt as well from said wound.
We do every day, Olive. And it's been a great many days.
I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear, or that you've been told that too many times, but I am sorry.
Quora and Jordan nod in solidarity with that. And Quora says, we've heard it a great many times, but coming from someone who's willing to help us, for some reason it means more.
What is Coral's current facial expressions, or like how is Coral taking this
Oh shit,
conversation?
he's here too.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Shorter session. Haven't been able to focus on everybody. But
okay.
for Coral, let me see. Hold on. Coral is staying back and not engaging that much, and is almost like hiding behind the rest of the crowd. Give me an insight check on Coral, her, because you asked that question.
Can I make an insight check?
Yes, you can, Olive. Yes, because, brotherly love.
Tits. I'll flip my coin for this.
24.
24.
13.
13. Olive, you have two people looking at you like you're the most important person in the world. This conversation is very engrossing. Her, as you're kind of
Yep.
scanning for Coral, you are able to see Coral, and you get the sense that with a 24, it's fucking great. There's a certain level of fear. Of clearly there have been some stories passed down into Olive's family that have made them try to be try to enforce instead of that parenting technique of let's have you understand this thing so you can tackle it when it comes up. It's that parenting technique of you should be forever afraid of this thing because if you ever get there, it's gonna kill you. And you get the sense of on the surface, Coral is kind of enacting that fear by kind of hiding away. Underneath that, with a 24, you get the sense that Coral is intrigued, as it almost seems like Quara and Jordan and the Chainbreakers are another side of history that he was never allowed to engage with, and it's that draw to go towards the cornered off pieces of your society. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And Quara and Jordan look to you and go, and of course, we're not looking to get something for nothing here. We understand this can be an undertaking for you. If this godly weapon, it can be yours as long as we can simply use it to break out of whatever has been affecting us for so long. We're not looking to take anything from you.
Of course, you don't need to ask.
Quara looks to you and goes, we just wanted to make sure. We would have saved this conversation for a time when we would know each other better, but it's a matter of urgency. And it's not like we have a porthole to the deep sea, so...
So funny you should mention that.
Fuck,
Portal?
I knew that was important. I'm so rude. What, you fucking asshole?
We had a porthole.
No, a porthole.
We don't technically know where it led.
Wait, did you say portal or porthole?
A porthole.
Portal.
Portal.
We all heard
Well,
portal.
we did have
The-
a
Why are you talking
about a portal?
Because- Yeah, but this
It kind of is
thing,
a portal.
when we opened it, gushed water from
No.
the depths of the ocean.
Now from a ship. It was from a ship. Hey, what happened to Yorda? He was in the fight. What happened? What did but the netlocks was what?
Rahi just goes, we're not talking about that right now.
We'll get to it. One thing at a time.
My shoulder still hurts, and I still don't know why.
I put my hand on her shoulder. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
For
Tell me more.
what? What happened?
I'm
Not
sorry.
I don't know. I
now.
just care about you, and I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay, moving on.
Thank
Sorry
you.
So-
too.
So, forgive me. I might not fully know the history here, but if you all the Chainbreakers are the skin of sand in between the waves returning, is that Umberly in some way? Is that why you're stuck? Because they won't have you back and forth as the bridge?
Cowrie, give me a religion check, and Olive, I want a religion check with advantage.
Ooh.
Fuck. Pull my earphone out.
Dirty
one.
20.
Dirty 20. Okay. 8. Cowrie, good question. Can't put it together on your own, though. Olive, you might have some insight into that. May I give a little bit of an explanation as to the prophecy?
Please.
Yes.
all of you realize that this prophecy is talking... Dirty 20?
Yeah.
It's talking about dichotomy. It's talking about opposing forces. It's talking about the two sides of a coin. Talked about earlier this session, heads and tails, the foam and the waves, life and death. All of you get the sense, it's all being recontextualized to you now. The foam of the waves, the living, those that were allowed to exist by the forces of Umberlee, at least in the interpretation of this religion and this prophecy, the waves that have returned, those that have returned to Umberlee, those that have died. One will come along to bridge the two. All of you think about all of the elderly people that you have been seeing, that have been gifting you so many powers across this journey so far. And it's a revelation that comes to you like a flash.
Just kind of got a 1,000-yard stare going at the moment as the gears are grinding over time. When you showed up in Emin's Tower, that was the first time that my magic allowed me to see a water genasi that everyone else could see. It wasn't that only I could see you two. Those are the ones that have returned.
Quora and Jordan look to each other, and they reach out and they hold each other. A mother and daughter hold hands in front of you, and you're able to see that on Jordan's hand, she has a golden ring with a blue sapphire, and Quora has a sapphire necklace across her neck. And you watch as Quora and Jordan look at you, and Quora says, "We think you've been seeing those that have returned. And the reason that you can see us," and as Jordan clutches at her ring, and as Quora holds her sapphire necklace, you're able to watch as a slight wavy image, an illusion, shimmers across their face. And their blue water genasi's skin remains the same. Not dropping the entire thing, but just enough that you're able to look over to Quora and Jordan, and like mother, like daughter, you're able to see a deep cut right across their throat, with skin and esophagus and jugulars missing. We just aren't quite there yet.
There are so many undead people here today.
Yeah, what's Doug's reaction to this?
Gab, what the fucking great questions.
Sorry.
I think her, like, scanning the crowd, you look at Otto and Dura and Doug and Cade, and, well, Rahi and Duke hold hands, and Rahi holds your hand, and the Duke holds your other hand, as they're like, what the fuck,
We're in
they're
a little
zombies!
circle.
As it seems like the crew of the Old Guard all already knew this.
Thank you for trusting us with this, and I'm sorry. This might be a completely wrong question. When I saw you 2 years ago, was I dead?
They stop and they think, and they look at you and go, "We don't No. You were the only person to ever leave the beach.
Thousand yard stare again. And for a moment, like, makes eye contact with Coral. And then looks back to the two of them. So I died and no one even knew. For a moment, however brief.
There's a silence that falls over Quara, Jordan, and Coral as they're unsure how to respond, and they just kind of sit with that question for a bit. As all of you understand that no one here can answer that for you. But if that's your interpretation, then that's what you can believe.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? Or, I mean... I'm sorry, that was insensitive of me. I don't even know if it's true. No one saw me get injected. No one, as far as I know. I don't even know how I got home that night.
All of you think back to Cowrie in the Cycle March.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about how Cowrie, like, on this... Cowrie, after describing that quest to you, went and had this grand display of performance before reawakening. And you realize that you were there to see Cowrie's whole experience. Cowrie not knowing what they were doing before they woke up at the head of the Cycle March. Difference is, no one was around to see what you were doing. And you woke up at home. So whatever happened between the injection and you waking up, what had some kind of effect. An effect that has not allowed Quara, Jordan, and the Chainbreakers to return to the beach they have seen in their dreams.
So what do I do?
Quara and Jordan, they release their sapphires and their wounds disappear once again. And they look to each other, they smile, they dryly chuckle, and they look to you, they look to Morchi, they look to all of the crews accumulated on all of the ships, and they say, I think it's the same thing that all pirates do. Let's hunt treasure.
And this, if it exists, this weapon, how would it break your curse?
In all honesty, Olive, we haven't thought that far ahead. We've just gathered up the most powerful people we can. And we're doing all we can to remain hopeful.
I understand. Could I make some kind of, like, I guess, history check to, like, try to think about if anyone on the grip aisle would have seen me, who that would be? Since we're heading there.
Give me a history check. It's going to be the last check of the game, and then we're going to end off. Sound good?
Yeah. History?
Yes, please.
19.
Wow, that is a good roll. Give me 1 second to just think about
Yeah.
the realism of that.
Was it already determined that Coral doesn't know anything?
Coral already doesn't know. He doesn't know jack or shit about
No.
any of this.
I didn't think so. I was just trying to remember.
There are 2 potential leads for you on the grip aisle. There is one that is of connection to you, and there is one that is of connection to the grip aisle itself. You remember Fionn Mohan. Your family's... It's the Terraborg Manor's attendant, the butler. Someone whose job is to keep an eye on all of the Terraborg children, as distressed as they may be. Perhaps by blind luck, he was able to run into you, or see at least a glimpse of what happened. But also, you think about the elderly, those with the wisdom of the generations past, and those that lived through such a horrible occurrence. And you think of she who is most attached to all of the ancient customs of the Grip Isle except for the forgotten religion. You think of Orla and the pit crew of the Remembrance Port. Perhaps by sheer luck, you will be able to find you will be able to find these people, but perhaps just by luck, maybe they have a clue as to where your journey will lead next. But on this mysterious moment, on the ramshackle, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, they definitely meant porthole, not portal. I know. Drew's playing with words again, just
The
like
way it
all
landed on all of us, like, fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all having a good time?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, a little bit of a shorter session this time around, but still completely fun. I hope that was a good little engaging mystery. Now, the next session, we are going to get, now in full transparency, we're going to cut ahead a little bit. We are going to have just final goodbyes between all of the crews. We're going to have a little bit more sailing. Then next session, we're going to get to the Grip Isle and start our little adventurous treasure hunt there. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then everybody watching, thank you for coming to the table. We deeply appreciate it. Thank you to all the wonderful players here that are willing to engage with this world and have a great time.
Thank you to you.
And
We
thank you
love
for all of your praise.
world.
And we will hopefully be back soon with more Palm in the Fist. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. We hope to see you there. Peace out, everybody.
Yo ho.